Hurricane Milton is now a tropical cyclone well off into the Atlantic Ocean tonight, but left a path of destruction in Florida. We now know at least 15 people are dead after Milton made landfall as a Category 3 storm last night. The hurricane left catastrophic damage across Florida, after bringing powerful winds, dangerous storm surge, and heavy rain. Hundreds have been rescued after being trapped in their homes due to severe flooding. More than 2.6 million customers are without power tonight. Florida's governor is now warning people to stay away from downed power lines as they can be dangerous.
They can be deadly. Do not touch them and stay away from any debris that may be tangled within the power lines. Be careful of standing water.
Well, Florida officials emphasize it is crucial everyone continues to shelter in place until it's safe. Meanwhile, Floridians who both stayed and left for Hurricane Milton are now assessing what things look like and where do they go from here. Jenna Lee Bork live in studio with us tonight. So Jenna Lee, you caught up with a few people we spoke to before the storm. So what updates did they give you today?
Yeah, Elise, I spoke to people we heard from yesterday, and each one had a very different experience. But the good thing is that none of them have extensive damage to their property from what they can tell.
Hurricane Milton spent hours Wednesday night tearing through Florida. On Thursday, when night finally turned into day, people were able to evaluate what things looked like and think about what's next. Diana Cicchini rode out the storm just north of Siesta Key.
It was a bit crazy, scary, all of the above, loud, noisy. You hear bangs, you hear all kinds of stuff out there. So you don't know what's going on because you don't know because you can't see outside.
She was in the eye of the storm and described what it was like when she opened her front door.
I got goosebumps. You know, you heard everything for the last 3 or 4 hours, going through your house. And it's like you finally open it up because you wonder, why is it so quiet out here? It just was a scary, eerie feeling.
Cicchini says most of the damage in the neighborhood is trees being down. Her outdoor water heater was damaged, so she's without water, but they do have power. She says her community will work together in the coming days.
Everybody just rallies together to see what each other needs. Our community gets together and we get supplies. We did it with when Helene went through, and they'll be doing that again.
Richard Comfort lives north of Sarasota, but also has a home in Cape Coral. He evacuated his family to Georgia. Neighbors sent him photos of his homes, but he says it's hard not to see them for himself.
Now both places are without power, so we're up in the air on what we're going to do next. We're back with the fear of the unknown and playing the waiting game. So I don't want to say you get paralyzed with fear, but it's the anticipation is makes the time go very slow.
Comfort thinks they'll head back tomorrow and use a generator for power for the next few days, but doesn't think they'll have significant damage.
And it doesn't look like we have a bunch to take care of right away. And then at least the first of the week, start going out in our community and helping some of because we got quite a bit of senior citizens in our neighborhood, get back on their feet.
Everyone I spoke to says people are helping each other out, and it's a really positive thing to see that people still care about each other.
Looking pretty good. There's your 44 by 6 in the morning and 48 by 8 a.m.
We now know one person is dead and another seriously hurt after a shooting in Trotwood. Now, the shooting happened near Free Pike around 2:45 Tuesday morning. Police say 2 victims drove up to officers at the scene of an unrelated incident. 23-year-old Justin Askew died from his injuries at Miami Valley Hospital. Anyone with information, of course, is asked to contact Trotwood Police. The number is on your screen. We now know 2 people have been indicted for stealing houses through a quit-claim deed fraud. These 2 here, 38-year-old Diamond Washington and 39-year-old Rosalind Johnson, face several charges, including grand theft and tampering with government records. Montgomery County Prosecutor Matt Heck says they forged quit-claim deeds through their business, Love Has Homes, LLC, to steal properties and sell them below market value.
If you're purchasing a property, again, do not do it with a quit-claim deed. If somebody says we want to sell you a property with a quit-claim deed, that automatically raises a red flag. And that red flag says, stop, don't do it.
Heck says one deed involved a forged signature of a deceased person. Now they're both scheduled to be arraigned on the 15th. A political storm brewing tonight over disaster relief. Why the recent hurricanes are sparking a clash over the use of FEMA funds. You're watching Dayton 24/7 now.
A shocking uptick in government
We're continuing to follow developing news tonight out of Colorado. Now, we now know that 12 people who were trapped in a gold mine in Colorado have been rescued and are safe. The local sheriff's department says an elevator malfunction led to people becoming trapped underground. One person did die in the accident. 11 other people were rescued earlier in the evening. Now, there are reports of some injuries. The accident remains under investigation. And with the recent hurricanes, disaster relief is now turning political. Kayla Gaskins in Washington with how the hurricanes are impacting the upcoming presidential election.
Hurricanes Milton and Helene igniting a political storm between Donald Trump, Joe Biden, and Kamala Harris.
The federal government, on the other hand, has not done what you're supposed to be doing. In particular, with respect to North Carolina, they've let those people suffer unjustly.
Despite the misinformation and lies, the truth is we're providing the resources needed to rescue, recover, and rebuild.
Donald Trump attempting to turn the disaster response into campaign ammunition, repeatedly claiming FEMA funds are being diverted away from helping hurricane survivors and funneled towards helping illegal migrants.
They had no money. You know where they gave the money? To illegal immigrants coming in.
Biden and Harris firing back.
It is dangerous. It is unconscionable, frankly, that anyone who would consider themselves a leader would mislead desperate people.
Mr. President Trump, former President Trump, get a life, man. Help these people.
FEMA does have a program to help illegal migrants, which has its own budget separate from disaster relief. The agency says no money has been diverted from one bucket to the other. We spoke with Caitlin Durkovich, the Biden administration senior director for resilience and recovery.
The president has made it very clear to his team here and to his administration that we don't play politics when it comes to disaster response.
Meanwhile, there's a spotlight on Vice President Kamala Harris's leadership skills as she attempts to showcase herself as a compassionate, competent leader. Harris receiving criticism for attending swanky fundraisers after Helene made landfall and doing lighthearted interviews as Milton barreled towards Florida. Voters in states impacted by Hurricane Helene and Hurricane Milton are now asking the courts to extend voter registration deadlines in light of the natural disasters. In Washington, I'm Kayla Gaskins.
We now know at least 22 people are dead and more than 110 others hurt after Israeli airstrikes earlier today. Israel's attack targeted a school in central Gaza, but their military claims terrorists were operating a command and control center inside the building. The IDF says it's focused on militant targets from both Hamas and Hezbollah. The Pentagon says the U.S. is monitoring the situation in the Middle East and is actively working to prevent a wider regional war. Well, college students and staff recognizing World Mental Health Day at Wright State University. How events on campus are raising awareness and connecting people with resources. You're watching Dayton 24/7 now.
Take Dayton 24/7 Now News with
We're following developing news tonight out of Springfield. We now know one person is in the hospital after a shooting led to a SWAT standoff. We're told that standoff started around 6 o'clock tonight at a home on Tibbetts Avenue and Selma Road. Police tell us several people, including that suspect, were barricaded inside. SWAT was called to get them out. We're now working to learn what exactly led up to the shooting in the first place. Of course, when we do, we'll update you on air and online. Today is World Mental Health Day, and to recognize it, Wright State University hosted multiple events throughout the entire day to raise awareness and to promote on-campus resources for students and staff. Students on campus say events like this helps connect them to the help they may need.
I think it's very important because especially as college students, there's a lot of stress and a lot of people can really struggle with their mental health and they don't know how to get help.
So I was pretty much looking forward to this day because I saw all the activities that's gonna happen today, and I'm a graduate student, so that pretty much tells I'm really stressed all the time, so I really needed this day.
Now, the event included everything from goat yoga, pumpkin smashing, and mental health screenings. It is week 8 of Thursday Night Lights. We're going to have a look at all the action between the Carlisle Indians and the Oakwood Lumberjacks. Up next, you're watching Dayton 24/7 now.
As a single mom, it's tough with the Democrats.
The Dayton 24/7 Now News app, brought to you by the Jeff Schmidt Auto Group.
So today turned into pretty much a typical autumn day, and we're going to have another typical day tomorrow as well. Our high in Dayton today, 68 degrees, just a degree above normal for this time of the year. Certainly nothing like the record in 1904 when it was 86 degrees. What you might notice more is how early the sun is setting. 7:04 is the sunset at this point. We're still losing about 2.5 minutes of daylight each and every day. Mainly clear overnight tonight, 43 degrees. I think northern parts of the viewing area may see the northern lights overnight tonight. But even then, it's going to be a little difficult because it's really faint out there. But if you're away from the city lights, that will really help. Daytime on Friday looks fantastic. Urbana 75 degrees in the afternoon, Wapak 79, Bellefontaine 76, still going to be around 74 in Wilmington. And then during the evening, a few clouds begin to move into the region, and that's going to be ahead of a front that's going to get in here on Saturday. So by Saturday morning, that cloud blanket keeping us a little bit warmer. So we're only going to drop into the mid-50s first thing in the morning, and we'll still get into the upper 70s, even a few places in the 80s on Saturday. but this chance for showers along that cold front likely to get from Salina even down into Troy and Urbana. Southern Ohio may end up staying dry out of that, but it's going to be worth having some rain gear ready to go. If you want to get out and enjoy the day tomorrow, we're looking at some sunshine for the day. By noon, we're at 66 degrees, getting into the mid-70s during the afternoon, and the sunrise is going to give us a little bit late, get it a little bit later, 7:44 in the morning, but the sun sets 7:02. Again, 2.5 minutes of daylight is what we're losing each day. Temperatures in the morning starting in the mid-40s, warming into the mid-70s during the afternoon, but brilliant sunshine for your Friday. No issues for your morning commute. Should be mainly clear, a little chilly, but not too bad. Then as we get into the rest of your weekend, things will start to get a little bit more cloudy. Sunshine to begin with tomorrow, 76 degrees. On Saturday, 79 with clouds thickening up and a chance of showers late and north. So if you're going to do a little tailgating on Saturday, you may have a few clouds to contend with. Temperatures will be in the upper 70s as we head through the rest of your weekend. Sunday, a high near 75, and we'll be in the 50s Monday and Tuesday.
Well, weather forecasters warn a solar storm could seriously impact our power grids and communication systems along with satellite operations. The National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, or NOAA, issued a severe geomagnetic storm watch today and tomorrow. Now, FEMA is aware about the possible power disruptions as they continue to respond to Hurricane Helene and Milton. The solar storm does mean parts of the southern and lower Midwestern states may get to see those northern lights. And we actually have been seeing the northern lights, and you've been sending them in to us. So let's take a look at what you're sending here. So far, this is up in Braden. This is pretty cool. No, I'm sorry. This is up in Covington. This is from Braden. There we go. Beautiful photos. I mean, I just can't even believe those look like they're not even real. Now, this is from Erica. She's down in Waynesville. Beautiful northern lights there. And I just can't get over how gorgeous these photos are. And if you have something, oh wait, I think